Oh, 56 hard in the wall. Looks like we're gonna stay green. Oh,
they got a spin.
95 around, 33 hard into the inside wall.
Oh, they're wrecking up front. 93, Ricky Johnson around, cracks the 30, the 59, the 30, I already said the 30. Oh,
They're still wrecking.
Oh my god, the 22 of Jason San Diego, damn it. Oh my word.
Turn 3 and 4.
Side, they fly for turn 3 and 4.
That's 66 now. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh, Joe, who's
3.
here?
I don't know. They're 3 wide through the tri-oval. Give it to Phelps there at the yellow flag. For the lead, the 77 goes to the inside. Doesn't have the run there. Goes back outside. He's going to try to have the momentum through turns 3 and 4. Peaks to the inside. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaways. Callum around.
It's going to be at the line. It's so close. Merslack wins it.
Don't think. Oh, he got really close. He's going to look to the inside. Oh, they make contact. Oh my God. Joseph Weaver. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to JTN's presentation of the HOBO Racing NXS series from the Myrtle Beach Speedway in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Alongside me tonight, Mr. Ricky Collette. Welcome to the booth, Ricky.
Hi there, Joe. Thanks for having me. Glad to be back for another great night of racing here on JTN.
It will be some high intensity. I've already swinging a miss for me up here in the booth tonight, but it's going to be a lot of intense racing tonight here from Myrtle Beach. Short track racing never disappoints here on JTN, and we no doubt we'll see another great one tonight. Last night we had a thriller with the Red Bull Cup Series and the USORL. Go back after this broadcast concludes. I'd go check out the last 20 or so laps of that one because it was a nail-biter for sure. Jeff Dixon taking home the win there. But Ricky, tonight at Myrtle Beach, a short track, that's very unique. It's going to propose a lot of challenges to these drivers.
Yeah, Joe, definitely. And as a lot of people are familiar with Myrtle Beach, but just to give a quick rollover on it, a half-mile track here, very somewhat flat, 13 degrees of banking in the turns here. But almost a D shape, kind of almost reminiscent of Richmond in a way. Yeah, and very interesting character to it. A lot of braking at work here. It's a very flat track, so very one lane. Should expect a lot of bumping and banging, a lot of one lane racing here tonight.
And got the shot down the back straightaway here. One thing to note down in turns 1 and 2, there's kind of like some curving or like some turtles. I think that might play into some incidents if we do see some down at that end of the speedway. Definitely will be something to watch here. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that like button and hit subscribe as we here at JTN are on the road to 450 subscribers. Y'all have been so supportive over the last week. Keep it up. We really appreciate it. Make sure, if you haven't already, share with all your friends, family, and to the drivers here tonight, if you're watching this race, thank you so much for doing all that you do to help us here at JTN. Again, JoeTowNetwork, Ricky Collette at my side tonight. Bristol, our producer, back on the truck and working the cameras for what will surely be a great night of short track racing action. Qualifying results at the top of your screen right now. It looks like we should be getting pretty close to switching on over here, Ricky, but I am excited to see if we're going to see some different faces at the front of the field. And I already see one that I told him he better do good tonight. He's going to be starting on pole. Why don't you take us through that starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. So for tonight, we'll have a field of 28 cars, 28 men on track, and then me and Joe means for 30 out here tonight at Myrtle Beach. But 28 car field tonight, and starting on pole will be the 21 car of Steve Rubino. Starting on the second position outside pole will be the 73 Cadillac of Herman Reese. Josh Boyer and Jeff Stekenis will make up third and fourth row respectively. Rich Knappick will round out the top 5 in the 6th car. MT Johnson in the 06 will be starting 6th naturally. 57 car, Keller will be starting 7th with Fugate in the 9 right alongside him in 8th. Andre Maggian, 54, will be starting 9 tonight. And the 91 car of Jeff Rogers starting tonight from the 10th position. Ron Simpson, the 25, will be starting 11th. Ronald Luzier in the 94 will be starting 12th. EJ Hinsky in the 14 will be starting 13th tonight, with Ryan Johnson, the 78, alongside him in the 14th position. Duke Sorensen, the 59, will be starting 15th tonight, with Ricky Bumbalo alongside him in the 85 car in 16th position. Starting 17th tonight will be Dan Rubino in the 44. Brendan Spatafora in the 37 will be starting 18th. Rod Weston, the 19, will be starting naturally 19th place. And the top 20 will be capped off with Andre Rium, the 34, starting, like I said, 20th tonight. Stefan Martel in the 21 will be starting 16th tonight. Tom Musa in the 7, 22nd. Benoit Plout in the 87 will be starting 23rd tonight and will be the last car that took a time in qualifying. And the remainder of the field will run down as Daniel Dupuy in the 24, starting 24th. The 00 of Gary Jackson will be starting in the 25th position tonight. Pushrod in the 17 will be starting 26th. Richard Fenkel in the 2 car will be starting 27th tonight. And John Palmer will be rounding out the field in the 108 car in 28th position.
A great field tonight here at Myrtle Beach. So happy you're along for the ride. Now I'll do a little bit of talking so Ricky can catch his breath after taking you through our field of 28. Here you see Dan Rubino, his teammate Steve Rubino on pole tonight. But there's last week's feel-good story. Andre Manjan in the 54 Starburst machine looked like he had a really good run going at Michigan, just could not close the deal there. So he'll be looking to rebound here tonight. There's Jeff Fugate in the number 9. Rich Napick going by in the 6. Taking you through some of these beautiful paint schemes here in the Hobo Racing League. 120 laps here from Myrtle Beach. Going to be a fantastic show. Make sure, again, you head over to our Twitter. Give us a follow over there at JoeTowNetwork. And head over to our Facebook, like our page on there, to stay up to date with all the broadcasting here on JTN. Also, check out a lot of our sponsors down in the description below. AutoSim, the premier text-based simulated racing game. Head over to autosim.weebly.com to find out more and how to download AutoSim. It's free, and it is a wonderful game. You can also check out my interview with AutoSim's creator, Steve, right now on our YouTube as part of the Fake Racers podcast from a few weeks ago now, but Ricky, 120 laps at a short track. That doesn't seem like a lot, but at a track like this one, Myrtle Beach, it could be a long, grueling night for these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, 120 laps here, half-mile track. These guys are rattling off 19-second laps consistently. You know, it's not going to take long to get this race in the pace that they should be going if we have green conditions. Now, where the wrench gets thrown into that is that we have a field, like I said, of 28 cars tonight. So we got a pretty big, we got close to 30 people here tonight, Joe. This is a very narrow track. Myrtle Beach, you know, notoriously pretty narrow part of its charm here. And you're going to see these guys coming down the backstretch. It's going to look like they're just funneled in on this pavement, just barely keeping off the apron here. You're going to see that going through the tri-oval as well, where there's kind of like that kind of pseudo dog-like there, where it's bent right at the start-finish line. There's a lot of tight racing that's going to happen here, and there's a lot of guys here, which means there's a lot of potential for incidents. And at a place like this, when you kind of break the seal there and start having cautions, they almost compound on each other. You know that old saying, "Cautions breed cautions." Well, it rings. I think it rings true the most at short tracks. That, you know, it's such a tight racing surface. These guys are on such an edge right now. There's a lot of bumping and banging that gets involved with it. As soon as you kind of get these guys, you know, hanging loose hard enough that they're getting into each other and causing incidents, it's hard to kind of stem the bleeding on that and get green flag racing. So keep an eye out for that. If we see some early cautions, that could be indicative of a much longer race than we're expecting tonight. Joe?
Yeah, I don't like early cautions. I know our sponsors like having a lot of cautions because it allows us to ooh and ah over all the stuff that they do, but early cautions, like you said, Ricky, they're just indicative of a race that might fall off the wagon a little too early, and that's definitely not something we want to see. especially here at a short track, because it sometimes, you know, it's hard to get into that groove if you keep having those cautions early on in the race. Drivers being called to their cars. We'll get the command shortly here. Stage down on the front straightaway in front of the crowd.
Nice crowd here tonight.
There you see your front row. Steve Rubino and Herman Reese. Row 2, Josh Boyer, Jeff Stakenis. Row 3, Rich Knappick and MT Johnson here. 120 laps again. We're not having a standing start, even though it might look like that, because that, Ricky, would be terrifying.
Oh, the wheel spin would be absolutely atrocious. Not having to do a standing start from first gear at a place like Myrtle Beach where everything's geared towards acceleration. Fixed setup tonight, important note. Actually, while we have that moment, fixed setup and also realistic damage, as we've talked about last week at Michigan, this series. That could play into, even at a place like Myrtle Beach where it's a short track, that could play into how we see some of these guys make their way through the field tonight. You know, it's a short track, it's pretty flat, so you want as much aero advantage as you can. You want as much downforce on that car as that spoiler and that splitter are going to give you. And if you have any front end or rear end damage that's going to hinder that, it's going to be, there's only so much the tires can do on their own in this series, so you really don't want to get into incidents out here.
Exactly, Ricky. I mean, you're still going to want to conserve your tires. You're still going to want to do a good job of that, but making sure you keep the nose and the back end of the car clean, that will definitely be the most important aspect of tonight at this flat speedway. Coming through turns 3 and 4, Steve Rubino, he's going to have control of this start after winning the pole here. Herman Reese to his outside. We'll see how this initial start goes. Here we go. Green flag. We're racing from Myrtle Beach, and a terrible start for that inside line.
Yeah, looks like the 21 just spun his tires right on that restart there and kind of log jammed everyone.
Oh. Herman Reese into the wall coming off of turn 2.
Man,
oh, and Rubino sends it in, and he's saved it.
Oh, my word.
That's a save.
Get back on track here right for the 57. Let's see if he lets up. Smart driving by 57 and the 54 there, respectively, to just kind of slow up and let Steve recover. It's too early to be diving on him to try to take advantage of him being half spun out. So very smart driving there.
Going back towards the front of the field, Herman Reese starting to extend a lead over Jeff Stakenis. Looks like the 108 car of Dog Palmer on pit road early. Tried to follow up on that story as the race goes on. But right now the battle's on for 5th with Bugate going to the inside of MT Johnson.
Yeah, Joe, I don't know if that 108 actually started the race. He might have actually started from pit road.
And there's, of course, no advantage to doing that because you're going to end up losing a couple laps here.
Yeah, but if you're unfamiliar with the track or maybe the vehicle's not agreeing with you, sometimes starting on pit road's a good way of being like, okay, I'm just going to lay back and let everyone do their thing until I get into a groove, which is a good strategy. At a place like this, usually you're going to see a few cautions, even if we get a pretty clean race here. Right now, 5 laps into this race, looking pretty good right now.
Right now, the big loser so far, Steve Rubino, but also MT Johnson falling back a bunch of spots here early on in this race. Back to the lead, though, Herman Reese extending that lead over Jeff Stakenis there in second. Oh, and Rod Weston really loose through turns 3 and 4. He's going to be in jeopardy pretty quick here of going a lap down to the 73 car of Reese.
Yeah, Rod Weston was another one I noticed was very far off the field. I don't know if he was I don't know if he started off on pit road as well. I believe he started with the field, Joe.
That'll be something to watch here, too, once these guys get to lap traffic, because so far tonight, this 73 car, Herman Reese, he's had clean air on the nose. He hasn't really had anyone out in front of him. Had a great start to this race, and then probably had a scary moment when that 21 car got loose underneath him, but now they're going to be going by this 19 of Weston, who's just struggling.
Yeah, right now, taking notice, that 31 NVIDIA Charger of Jeff Stakenis is starting to close in on the 73 here, Joe. Just kind of the past few laps, it's starting to tick away at that deficit just a little bit. And a place like this, everyone's running such close lap times that it really is a game of just tenths to hundredths of a second is how you're going to gain on the leader.
Go by the 108 car. He stays up and out of the way. Very courteous there.
Yeah, it's going to throw a wrench into Rich Napick, and Josh Boyer's going to kind of mess them up a little bit, the way that they caught him coming off the turn. Hurt their lap time that time by, but they'll probably get right back on it.
Watching this 6 of Napick the last couple laps, he takes a really high arc down into turns 1 and 2 and really uses that to get some momentum down the back straightaway, and it's starting to cut in to that gap to the 41 car in front of him.
Yeah, and I should have expanded on this a little bit earlier when I was talking about that it's kind of a one-lane track. In the sense that what we're seeing is you could take different points of entry and exit into this turn. It's just you're kind of always going to filter down closer to that yellow line. There's always going to be kind of that one lane that you're always going to default back to running off the turn. But you can kind of control where you're going as you arc the turn. And you can kind of see it with Rich Napick here. He's kind of going up, down, looking everywhere. Actually under yellow right now, Joe.
See what happened here.
It was the a little incident here with the was that 17 of Pushrod. Looks like he just caught John Palmer at a bad spot.
Oh, he just ran into the back of him.
Yeah.
At 108, really slow. 17,
Yeah.
he probably didn't think he had any room to try to go to the bottom there.
I mean, at the moment, it looked like he didn't have anyone running alongside him, so I think it was just maybe a slight miscalculation there. But yeah, it's tricky here. The racing surface, like I said, is so thin that you're walking on eggshells. You really don't want to move around from people too much if you don't have to, because you kind of lose your frame of reference on where the grass is. You don't want to put it in the wall by accident. So luckily, it looked like it was a pretty soft collision for that 17 car.
Well, he's taking it behind the wall.
Oh, he's taking it behind the wall?
Yep. Tom Musa was the first one off pit road, but Herman Reese out of our leaders, first one to go. And then Josh Boyer drove to the left of Steve Rubino, it looked like they're on pit road. I wonder, I know some leagues don't like it when you do that. I wonder if that's the same thing here, if maybe they're going to just be like, hey, it's okay.
I'm not sure.
I know that's frowned upon in some places that I've raced.
Right now on track, looks like Andre Realm, the 34, is going to be the leader unless he comes down pit road.
These car lights still on.
Which we'll see, because he was the only one that seemed to stay out on this. But, you know, I don't know, Joe, 15 laps in, how important do you think tires are right now?
I want tires. 15 laps is enough. If it was like a 3 or 4 lap run, he's going to come here. I think he's probably just trying to lead a lap.
Yeah,
but
I think you're right.
Tires are going to be important. I wouldn't be doing the strategy of taking 2 right now. Maybe you try that middle of the race, or if you're starting to really struggle for track position. But right now, come get tires. It's so early in the race, don't put yourself behind unnecessarily.
You know, I think that's a good omen there that we made it, you know, close to 15 laps into the race with no caution.
Short tracks are hard sometimes, man. They're hard. But
oh, absolutely.
Well, the other thing that doesn't help is these short tracks often, with the way the NR 2003 works in and of itself, you got longer cautions at short tracks, right? You got like 5 laps instead of 3, so that's really going to start ticking time off the clock.
Yeah, and it kind of gets everyone really antsy too. When you know the track's running long cautions and you get a string of, you know, consecutive cautions, it starts to drive you insane.
Yep. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
We coming around this time, I believe they should get the 1 to go, because lap down cars are accounted for. Everyone that pitted's accounted for.
Yeah.
Yep. Lights are off on pace car. We'll be going green this time by.
Yeah, so it's going to reset you like this. Herman Reese out front. In second, Jeff Stacanis. Third, Josh Boyer in the 41. Fourth, it's going to be Rich Napick in the 6th. Fifth, our pole sitter, Steve Rubino. 6th, Jeff Fugate in the 9. 7th, the 54 of Andre Monjan. Shoot, I lost count. In 8th, the 57 of Rob Keller. 9th, Ronald Lucier. And 10th, it looks like the 00 of Gary Jackson.
Now keep an eye on this restart here, because we saw it the last time by on the start of the race. Steve Rubino spun the tires hard. We'll see if Herman Reese does the same thing here. Cold tires could be menacing here.
Cars coming off of turn 4. Herman Reese with control of the restart. He'll wait to see the green flag. There it is, and here we go. Green flag back out at Myrtle Beach.
You know, he gripped up, but I saw those rear tires spit out just a little bit of skid mark there as he was coming to the line, so it's tricky here. You got to be really careful with it. Rick Schnapping in that 6 already on the attack on the 41 of Josh Boyer, though.
There he is to the inside as they go down into turns 1. Boyer just lets him go. Yeah, and Knappick sent it, though. Holy.
Hey, he might be running a different line as well. He might be sending it deeper in the turn on purpose to see if he can arc it in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
But very smart driving by Boyer to kind of lean back on those cold tires and kind of wait a lap or two to put up a fight. But looks like we have another caution on track, Joe. And oh, we got a bigger one. Dan Rubino, Ricky Bumbalo, and the 06 MT Johnson.
See what happened here.
I think the 06 might have gotten a little help from the 44 Rubino.
Yep. Rubino just misjudged it going down into that corner.
Gets collected in that. And now I don't know how the 85 got it. The 85 and the 7 both almost get in this, but it looks like Ricky Bumbalo just bounced off a few cars coming to a stop, but never actually spun.
85, yeah, just broke.
He's trying not to run into the back of the 34 Riom.
Yep.
Slammed on the brakes and locked her down.
It looks like the 7 of Musa ran into the back of the 2 of Finkel.
Yeah. But bright side, doesn't look like there's a whole ton of damage. A lot of soft collisions there. You're a little concerned about that 78 of Johnson, because he probably took the harder shot. Yeah, that's a tricky spot entering the turn on a flat track like this. If you so much as get someone entering the turn, it immediately spins them out.
Why is that?
It's because the cars, that's the point of the, you're coming from the straightaway into the turn. That's probably where the car's under the most load.
Mm-hmm.
The physics are acting against the tires the most right there. If you touch someone, it really is pushing up. You're much more likely to push them past the braking point where those tires aren't going to be able to grip up. If you're in the center coming off the turn, then it's a different story. The car kind of unloads a little bit. The rear end could kick out and you could recover it. But going into the turn, it's like as soon as that rear end steps out, the car's under so much load because it wants to go straight and the wheels are telling it to turn left that it just sort of spins out. And baking negates that a lot. So when you have a flat surface, a flatter track like this, which it's not too flat, 13 degrees of banking is pretty solid, but when you have a flatter track like this, it really aggravates it. I've seen that happen so many times in places like New Hampshire where it's very flat and you go into the turn. That these guys are on such an edge that the minute that somebody gets close to them, they just spin right around.
Well, yeah, I think everyone's got the same setup here tonight too, so I don't know. I think part of it comes down to maybe familiarity with the track, or just maybe how comfortable you are racing flat, short tracks. Because like you said, like you've mentioned, I think that's been the theme. This is a very flat track compared to a lot of the others, and you don't have that banking then to catch you. If you make a mistake, you send it into the corner too much, and you just don't have enough working against you in those situations to where it's beneficial, to throw the car down into the corner like that.
Yeah, and also one other part to it too. Sometimes it can happen. Not even just about knowing the track, just traffic jams.
Yep.
One person having an issue can just stack everyone up, and all of a sudden you have to mess up your. If it happens like that, where you're going in the turn and you mess up your braking points, I've done it before, where I've just straight up spun out because there's a big checkup for whatever reason, and then you just happen to be the one car, in a fixed setup race that's entering the turn right where the car snaps loose if you get on the brakes. So it's one of those things. It's just tricky, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we saw there. Maybe everyone stacked up just a little bit.
Okay.
Led to that incident. But again, looks like everyone's pretty smooth sailing here. Everyone's okay. No one came down pit road this time. Important note there. Other than the few guys that pitted, a few guys that were in that incident, everyone else stayed out. So we'll have to see if that does anything. I wouldn't imagine one lap pressure tires would have a huge play here.
Well, here we go, back to green flag racing. Here coming to lap number 25. Herman Reese again with control of this start. Into the restart zone we go. Green flag, we're back racing from Myrtle Beach. Cars all single file through turns 1 and 2.
73 takes a very high line going into 2 and 3 there, but look at that run he just got coming off the turn.
Ricky, he's able to kind of propel himself a little bit better at the start of these runs than these other guys.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Herman just knows how to play those cold tires better than a lot of these guys. You see Richard Nappick make it his charge to the inside of the 31 for second position.
Makes it look easy off of turn 4, so move that number 6 Ford Mustang of Rich Nappick up into the second position. He's now going to try to hunt down the 73 of Herman Reese.
Yeah, and you see Josh Boyer there starting to track down this 31 as well. We'll see if he can catch a 31. But Joe, we were talking about this earlier with that 6 of Nappick taking a very aggressive line coming into the turn. But you see now he's starting to kind of track down the leader. You think that's an advantage to him, or do you think that's a detriment to him? Pushing it that hard into the turn to get that lap time.
And if you're using the word push to describe how someone's driving the car, most likely they're pushing the tires too. And I mean, I'm of the mindset I want to conserve. But then again, I don't win a lot of races. I'm sure Rich Nappick has won more races than I have, so I'm not going to question it. But I would wonder what the crew would be saying to him about maybe backing it down a little bit and trying to save those tires.
And 6 of Rich Nappick just ran a lap about 3/10 faster than what Herman Reese ran that last time by. So whatever he's doing right now is getting him some immediate results. We'll have to see if that, excuse me, voice crack, but we'll have to see if that continues throughout this run or if this starts to pull back into Herman Reese's hands. But at the moment, that 6 is running consistently faster lap times than our leader.
Well, and another thing to watch, too, that 73 Herman Reese knows how to save tires, and when we've talked to him, he's talked about that, saving tires. So we'll definitely be watching to see if maybe the 73 picks up the pace once that 6 car gets a little bit bigger in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, I think that's really the ultimate skill to short track, is being able to be fast while you're saving tires. And usually I think every single person that you see dominate a short track race in, basically any oval racing series, any circle track series is going to pretty much be a poster child for that. Everyone's pushing it too hard, and the guy in front's just toying with everyone, and he's just saving his stuff the entire time, but he's still running 3/10 faster than everyone else.
Yeah, Andre Manjan, big moment through turns 1 and 2 that last time. He's going to lose a couple positions to the 94 and the 00 there, that bright green car. On the bottom of the 94, Lucier, I don't know what was going on there, but that's going to bunch up this entire mid-pack. Ron Simpson trying to get to the inside of the 54 now for...
And that 54 is kind of stuck in that outside line. It's not really giving him an optimal line through the turn, so you see he just loses so much coming in. It's not that bad center off, but he just loses so much ground coming into the turn because he can't throw it in as deep as these guys.
Well, it's a freight train.
Yeah. And Josh Boyer actually lost a few positions. He lost to Steve Rubino and Fugate, and he's now being tracked down by the 57 of Keller.
Spat 4 to the inside of Manjan. Martel going to look to do the same thing. We go forward, though, in the field real quick. Keller starting to hunt down this 41 of Boyer. This is the battle for 6th on the speedway.
And right now, it looks like everyone's kind of thinned out. The 54 of Manjan finally filtered out all the way back in 15th position, or 16th position, excuse me.
Yeah.
So,
caution on the speedway.
He definitely got freight train, but oof.
I'm sorry, that bright green car on your screen is the 91 of Jeff Rogers. My apologies. What happened here?
Incident, Joe. Looks like the 06 MT Johnson running. Looks like he overdrove it just a little bit. Got the car kicked sideways, and he never spun, Joe. But he came to a complete stop on the track, so the caution got thrown.
Well, always like to see officials maybe being a little more safe. That's definitely a dangerous place to be stopped there on the bottom, coming off a corner. So, tough break for the 06 to bring out a yellow, but I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of cats coming to pit road here to get fresh tires, and there they are.
Yeah, basically a whole field. And we'll see.
A72 and 19 all staying out. They'll probably come down pit road this next time by. Spatafora, though, going to be the first off of pit road. Tom Moose is second off. I wonder if maybe they missed their boxes. Crowded pit road down here.
Yep, I don't believe Spatafora hit his box.
The Herman Reese going to come off pit road first. Second, DeKennis, Napick, Rubino, and Fugate, your top 5.
Look here, looks like Tom Musa did the same thing in his pit stall, so... Yep, they're coming back down this time by, Joe.
There they go.
Oh, Spatafora isn't, but... Now, if you're in Spatafora's position, do you just roll the dice and see what happens?
I mean, you didn't have the track position. Now you got the track position. Maybe you get a quick caution, a couple quick cautions, and then by the end of it, everyone comes back down pit road.
I mean, these guys are still running like 19.6s out here, but the problem is the fastest time I've been seeing is like 19.3s on fresh tires. So it's doable. I just don't know where exactly he would end up. I would imagine if he gets freight trained by one of these guys vying for the lead, then everyone's going to freight train him. I'll see. 37, Brent Spatafora in that Sirius XM Mustang might be making an interesting strategy play here. Might shake this up in the front a little bit.
Hey, you love to get some TV time for Gent Nation out there.
Oh, yeah.
Pace car lights still on, so he'll have another attempt at pit road here if he so chooses.
Yeah, I want to see him roll the dice here, Joe, to be honest.
Roll the dice. That's what Tommy Bordeaux, our colleague here at JTN, says. Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
We ain't in Vegas. We're in Myrtle Beach, but there's plenty of casinos in Myrtle Beach. There's enough old people for it. I'd say roll the dice.
What?
Yeah.
What are you...
Old people in Myrtle Beach. That means there's probably casinos, right?
I don't think that's how that works, Ricky.
Anywhere a lot of old people congregate, there's usually a few casinos.
Is that how that works? Tell us in chat if Ricky's right, but I don't think he is.
Old people in chat have affirmed this for me.
You don't got old people in chat. Everybody's a young...
I don't remember. I had one lap to go. I've been to Myrtle Beach a lot of times over the years, Joe. I don't remember. My grandparents used to have a timeshare in Myrtle Beach. So I used to go there when I was a kid. I think there was. All I remember was the NASCAR kart track they had there that's not there anymore. So, talk about my sim racing experience. I'm pretty sure my first sim racing memory was ogling over the Dale Jr. simulator they had set up inside.
Well, coming back to green, Spatafora, Reese, DeKennis, Napick, and Rubino. Steve Rubino, your top 5, with Jeff Fugate back there in 6th. Field making their way through turns 3 and 4. We're going to give you this overview shot for a little bit here. Spatafora going to lead him into the restart zone. He's on old tires. Let's see how this works. Green flag, we're back racing from Myrtle Beach.
Actually, a very good start by that 37. I was expecting him to spin the tires as well, but got rolling nice and smooth.
Not a bad restart for the 37.
Oh, let's see. We'll see right here how good those tires are for the rest of the field.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Brendan Spatafora might have cracked some code.
Oh, Rubino around in front of the field.
And that's going to bring on another caution here, Joe.
Minimal.
Holds it down. Steve Rubino with the fantastic defensive driving here.
Minimal damage. A good job of keeping it locked up. Get your closer in on replay. Here it is.
Yeah, it looks like he just overdrove the turn just a little bit on those cold tires and the rear end kicked out on him. But just watch this. He locks it down. You see the wheel crank to the right. And, yeah, a little tap from the 9 of Fugate there. But beyond that, no one else hit him. Just locked it down, sat there, and let everyone roll by. Caution was already out. No real rush there. So, fantastic move by Steve Rubino to keep everyone clean there.
Well, to the young drivers out there, that's how you self-spin.
You just lock it down. Now we see that Spatafora's hand here. Did he stay out this time, Joe? We only did one lap, but he already clocked down 2 pretty decent laps there. That's a pretty good gap on Herman Reese.
Real quick, so play cool. Yes, writes in if Joe says Ricky is wrong, Ricky is wrong. So I'm gonna back to the
that's listed
casino
as,
thing.
I think that's rule 2 on our JTN
Big board.
standards and practices board.
Yeah.
If Joe says Ricky is wrong, Ricky is wrong. I don't remember what the first one is.
Always pet Bristol.
Always pet Bristol. That's what it is.
That's what.
It's weird that it's a standards and practices board. It's telling us to pet Bristol like it's vulgar not to, but then again, maybe they know more than I do.
Hey, I mean, the board of directors here at JTN, they do a great job.
Oh yeah, that's just how it works. Yep. Just
Yep.
said in the chat. That's just how it works.
But
Now,
working.
is the same ring true for Tommy? Important question.
I think so. Man, last night I had a joke all set up, and Tommy just would not hit me with the setup, man. And he just, it's in a lot of pain. Something about rainbows and storms and, But top 5 JTN moments, 2020.
He brings a race car to the
2021.
track, so don't speak ill of him.
Tommy's World! Tommy's World! You can check that out right here on the JTN YouTube page. All those go up as their own separate videos for your viewing pleasure. Next Tommy's
Usually
World.
for the,
Go ahead.
usually for the USRL Cup races, correct?
Correct.
Tommy's World.
You
Just
can
have
get-
an ad for it. That's
Well-
gonna make an ad for it.
I mean, you can get Tommy's World merch on the JTN merch store now if you check out the link in the description. You can also check out our friends at JoeTow Designs. Use code JTN2 at checkout for 10% off JoeTow Designs. Oh, we're under caution. I guess I can keep plugging stuff. What else, Ricky? We got the Fake Racers podcast with myself and Davey Hazard every week here on the old YouTubes. Last week we ranked every NASCAR National Series driver, so go check that video out. Tell us where we went wrong, because I'm sure you're going to have some different opinions. This pace car light's going off here. Weston getting another lap back. We'll be back Green Flag Racing this next time by, with the field looking very similar to last time, save for that 21 of Steve Rubino going to the back.
Yeah, now we'll see if Brendan Spatafor can do that again. He held off Herman Reese pretty well there in those few laps we were able to clock off. See if these tires still hold up on this one.
We will see. Pace car makes its way down pit road. Spatafor looking to get another great restart here like he did last time. We will see how it goes. Off of turn number 4, down into the restart zone we go. Green flag, and we're back racing from Myrtle Beach.
Another great start by that 37, but Herman Reese made sure he was right there on that.
Probably learned something that last restart, Ricky.
Yeah, definitely. Now we can see. We'll rattle off a couple here, and we'll see what these guys do. Because that's the other problem too. Even if Herman Reese is faster than the 37 right now, catching him is one thing, passing him is a whole nother. Especially if this guy's right in your line and there isn't really any alternate lines you could be taking.
Spatafor enters the corner a little higher than Reese, and you saw it there, and Reese trying to hunt that left rear quarter.
You got
He's
that
going to get to the
nose in.
inside.
But now he's going to be right down that yellow line. That's going to be hard for him to pull that off, Joe.
Spatafor trying to wheel it on the outside. It's drag race down the back straightaway. Reese on the inside, Spatafor the outside, and give that one to Spatafor going into 3.
Yeah, Brendan Spatafor figuring something out here. Just running a lane up the track. It seems like Herman Reese gets down that yellow line, he can get a nose in, but the minute he gets down that yellow line, he can't rotate. He can't bring the car back off the track any higher. So at that moment, he loses that run coming off the turn. Spatafor makes a big charge back because Spatafor is losing time.
Oh, he's going
turn.
around.
But the leader spins, and there is a caution out for that on racetrack.
Ouchie.
I think he just pushed it just a little too hard there, Joe.
Series XM on board here. Going down into turn number 3, and we saw a lot of this last night at Chicagoland. Completely different track, but just when you're on the bottom sometimes at certain racetracks, it just keeps rotating.
Yeah, you can see he immediately locked it down. He knew that he just wanted to make sure he kept that off the wall. So fantastic heads-up driving by the 37 there to keep that from being any worse. Now we got kind of a split opinion opinion, Joe, a few guys, you know, the 94, the 37 coming down, 59, the 78. I saw Josh Boyer and the 41s coming down pit road. Now, these guys have got fresher tires than some of these people. But now that we've seen the 37 do that, does that play into strategy later on the race when the rest of these guys have to pit? Does this put 2 tires on the table? Does it put no tires on the table? Do they have to take 4 tires if they want to be fast here? Do you think we could see some pit strategy under caution?
It puts them on the table, Ricky. It's going to depend on how much time is left in the race, of course. But that 37 car was running just outside the top 10, I believe. So,
yeah.
I mean, for the track position he gained, I think the move was definitely worth it.
And
it's
he
just
had like 15 lap older tires compared to the rest of the field too, so it wasn't
a huge detriment.
Yeah, it was enough that I would say 15 laps here is probably enough that you have decently knocked off a few percentages of wear. So you're not at full grip, but it held very strongly there. The only reason why he spun was that he just kind of overdrove it a little bit.
Kind of puzzling, though. He really decided to wrap that yellow line that time through the corner. I noticed earlier on in the run, he was maybe running a little bit higher through the center. So I wonder if that just played into that happening, maybe not having the laps down there on the bottom.
Yeah. And, you know, like we saw with Herman Reese, though, too, when you're down on that bottom, you really can't get a run off the turn. So, let's just say you can't get a run off the turn, but you can't get as good of a shot off the turn as you would be able to if you could let the car just sort of track its way up the track to the wall, going down the front and the rear, front and back straightaway when you're coming off the turn from the bottom. So I think it could be possible that you're a little bit loose down there. Maybe the car's rotating just a little too much and you're scrubbing off speed. But we kind of saw it there because Herman Reese had a run on the inside, but they got down into the turn. He was down on the paint there, and he just couldn't get the run back off the turn. And the 37 got a huge shot because he was able to kind of use the rest of the track. So I guess it could be possible that just makes you loose down there. Maybe, you know, the rear end's really kicking out, trying to keep the car rotated down on the bottom when you try to hold that low line all the way through the turn.
Yeah, so resetting you like this. Herman Reese out front, Jeff Stekenis in second, Rich Knappich third, Jeff Rogers in fourth, fifth, Jeff Fugate. Sixth, it's Rob Keller. Seventh, it's the 25 of Ron Simpson. Eighth,
it's the cat to Jeff Rogers here, too.
Yeah, good run for that 91 crew after they started at the back. 14, 34, 44, rounding out your top 10 here as we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing field making its way off of turn number 4. Here we go into the restart zone, and we wait, we pause. Green flag, and we're back racing from Myrtle Beach. Good, clean restart, single file off of turn 2 down the back straightaway, Ricky.
Yeah, it looks like they're wadding just a little bit further back in 16th position where Ryan Johnson is making a charge at the 16 of Stefan Martel. Looks like that's going to be a continuing battle back here. And it looks like Martel's going to hang on to that. The rest of the field pretty much single file right now, Joe.
And Martel got really loose there off of turn number 2 in that 16 Castrol machine.
You're seeing this right now. Jeff Stekenis is really staying in touch with that 73.
Back here watching the battle for 9th. Dan Rubino trying to get to the inside of the 34 car of Andre Rieume. Oh, and he did, and there's contact, and 3 wide for a second, and now they both lose a spot, and Bino falling further and further back.
Okay. It was good driving there that no one wrecked.
Now side by side with his teammate down the back straight. Steve, you gotta stop hitting that wall, buddy.
Up front here, watching this leader in the 31 there, it's almost very, you can almost kind of see where they're having different...
Oh, Ricky, I'm sorry, but Dan Rubino just sent the 21 of Steve Rubino into the wall.
Oh yeah, it's, 21 is up against the wall, and oof, the 19 of Rod Weston almost got into him as well.
But we'll go back to the front here. Jeff Sakanis trying to stay in touch with the 73 of Herman Reese.
Looks like the 44 Dan there was chasing the car up the track a little bit.
I saw him do that a couple times down at that end of the track a few laps ago, too. So maybe some issues there for the 44 team.
Yeah, maybe he just threw it just a little too hard in there, and he had to chase up the track to keep it from spinning, Joe, and it just happened to be that the
21 was there.
21 was there, yeah.
Don't you hate it when there's just a car to your outside?
Oh, I just hate it.
Absolutely terrible.
91 here of Jeff Rogers really putting up a good showing here tonight, Joe. Started to track down Rich Knapping. They've been kind of vying back and forth for this position. Rogers kind of gains a little bit every few laps, then Knapping finds something, but Jeff Rogers almost getting that nose to the inside of that 6 Harley-Davidson Ford. And he's going to get to the inside this time. Rich is going to let him roll on by down the bottom, so put the 91 Jeff Rogers up to 3rd place.
Always happens, too, that when we don't get a car file, it's towards the front, Ricky. It's always how it works.
Yeah, I was kind of, I couldn't see it. I was hoping you had the car file.
We'll make sure if he's up in the booth after the race, we'll get those beautiful sponsors.
When someone say, oh, it was the mod supplied one, and we just don't have the car set for it. But Herman Reese here, holding good on Jessica Kennis, but they're kind of staying very close proximity to each other. Running pretty much identical lap times. They're both just running 19.5s around this place. So no one really getting an edge here, but they're staying in touch with each other.
That's all you gotta do right now. You're just kind of feeling out the battle.
I think we have a caution out on track, Joe.
Well, that's sad.
Oh, we got a big incident. Dan Rubino, the 78 of Ryan Johnson.
See what happens here.
Oh, man, it looks like...
Oh, no.
For Andre Rayom has a moment here. Rubino has to let up, and it looks like Ryan Johnson just couldn't slow down in time. Then MT Johnson came in, got the 78, and that sent him into Dan and almost flipped him.
Oof. Oof.
The 7 of Tom Musa rolling in.
Yikety yikes. That's just short track racing.
Just short track racing. It's hard to slow down here. Sometimes. I know it's like, oh, it's a short track. How hard could it be to slow down? But the minute the wheels lock up, it's like you're just along for the ride. Sometimes it comes down to how hard you want to hit someone and not necessarily can I stop and not hit them. And we'll see this race off pit road. If any of these guys take tires, like no one, a big strategy play on this. Yeah, it looks like we'll stay pretty much orderly coming off pit road here. With Herman Reese, then Jeff Kennis, Jeff Rogers, Fugate, and DJ Hinsky. So a little bit of shuffling. We haven't seen Hinsky in the top 5 yet tonight.
Like Rich Knapping might have lost a lot of track, or a couple positions there on pit road. A lot. Absolutely lost everything he had. That's the broadcaster in me. The race car driver in me says he barely lost anything on track, but you know.
Yeah, well, Rich Knapping having that issue, the person that benefited from that was Hinsky.
Yeah.
Because Knapping came up and there was a big log jam, and Hinsky was able to just squeeze around on the outside right behind Fugate. And now he's up in the top 5, or he was last quarter's 12th, I think.
A big time gain there for the 14 on pit road, but everyone is still chasing, as it has been the common theme here on Sunday nights, this 73 of Herman Reese.
Yeah, that 73 Caddy's got some good caddy power under it, so you know it ain't a North Star in there.
Jesus, Rick.
Nah, I'm kidding. They're good motors. It's just, it would have been billowing out white smoke if we had a North Star in there.
Jesus, Ricky. Well, Cadillac Racing getting ready to go back racing in IMSA series here in a couple weeks for the Rolex 24, so trying to get everything fine-tuned here tonight at Myrtle Beach.
Do you think Kermit's going to be mad at me for saying that?
I don't know.
I think Cadillac owners hate North Stars too, so I think I'm allowed to say that. Aluminum head and aluminum block is tricky.
Yeah, right? almost like there's a reason things are made out of the materials they're made out of.
It's almost like the heads have to use the right bolt for that, or else they start warping.
Huh.
Weird. Huh. Huh. It's gonna be the line in the sand. They're not gonna want us to come back for anymore after this.
Well, you know, pace car lights are off, so I'm gonna cut you off. Herman Reese, Jeff Stakanis 1-2, Jeff Rogers in 3rd, Fugate 4th. So it's the Herman, then Jeff, and Jeff show. You know what Jeff I'm rooting for? That's old Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Some Jeff Birdie coming up later. That's a fun
Got a
time.
whole lot of Jeffs in here. I haven't even thought about that. But...
I thought I had a common name, but oh, good thing my name ain't Jeff, and I'm not running here in the HOBO Racing League. I'm watching it with all you fans at home here on JTN, taking you through these races. Again, so happy you guys are joining us here. Pace car made its way onto pit road. Field making its way off turn 4. Under 50 laps to go in this thing. Green flag, and we're back racing.
Another great start by these guys up front. You know, I saw a lot of wheel spin. Oh, Spatafor making a big charge to the inside of the 34. Looked like he almost got shoved in there.
37 to Spatafor, always willing to make a big move. Further up front, the 87.
Buffalo's making a charge to the inside of the 87. Yeah, Benoit Plourde.
Ford had a big moment off of turn 4. Now they're side by side, coming off of 2. Really close, Ricky. Really close.
They had very different ideas of how to run that turn, Joe. They almost came together.
Spatafor squeaks on through for that position.
Yeah. Brendan Spatafor clicking off a few good positions here. Trying to claw his way back into the top 10. See Jeff Rogers. Oh, we got another caution on track. And it looks like...
Dupuis in the 24.
Yeah. And it looks like another case of just overdriving it. A little... It gets...
Oof.
It goes into the turn just a little hot, and he just kind of gets sideways.
Lusa had some heavy contact there. The right side, but thankfully that wasn't the driver's side, because that would have hurted.
Yeah. I think he should be able to get that repaired, but... That's going to be a good chunk of time pulling that fender and that door out on the passenger side of the car.
See, there's some family issues being aired out in the chat. Keep it civil down there. Danny's trying. I got you, Bino. I got you. I got your back. Oh. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in here on JTN on a Sunday night. Know there's football going on right now. It looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be able to take care of these New Orleans Saints and move on in the divisional round, out of the divisional round to the championship round. But Sunday night, under the lights at a short track. I don't think there's anything like it, Ricky, and racing is just in our blood, and so happy that you've joined us tonight. And why don't, if you love what you're seeing tonight, why don't you come back tomorrow night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time, the ASRA IndyCar Series from Gateway. We'll have a fun time there tomorrow, Ricky, and then we'll be back at the end of the month, last Saturday of the month, January the 30th, for the USORL Cup Series at Pocono. That's Tricky Track up there in Pennsylvania. The Excel Shootout then is next after that on the docket, February 1st from the Daytona Short Track. I believe that's what the SD stands for. Sometimes they don't get me in on the planning stuff too much, so, you know. But it's a wheel modified race, so I'm assuming that's short track, not the big track. Or, you know, big track with mods, that'd be pretty fun, too. USORL Cup Series from Knoxville, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time, February the 6th. And then February the 13th, again, USORL Cup Series at Atlanta 97 for their throwback race. We'll have a few throwback surprises for you here at JTN as well. A lot of great showings coming up here. Brought to you by TWB Technologies. Together, we're better. Upcoming races on JTN on the bottom left of your screen.
Yeah, a lot of great races coming up, Joe. And I think what I'm really interested in is that Knoxville race.
A little dirty.
Dirt and NR is always a riot. And I'm sure with the kind of fields that USRL pulls in terms of just car count, that should be a wild one.
Always a wild one, Ricky. I'm sorry, I'm looking at chat. I'm doing a lot of things here in the old studio command center. But, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you like our updated graphics at the top of your screen. Changed them up a little bit, made them look a little nicer, in my opinion. I hope you're enjoying them too. Kind of taking it back to the early 2000s with the way they're kind of laid out. But pace car lights have made their way, have been turned off on that Chevy Camaro pace car. Herman Reese out front. Sekenis second, Rogers third, fourth Jeff Fugate, and fifth Hinsky in the number 14. Can't miss that bright pink and yellow car. Napick back there in sixth, Simpson, Keller, Bumbalo, and Spadafora, the rest of your top 10. Field making its way into turn 3 as the pace car has already made its way down onto the pit lane. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing coming to lap number 83 out of 120. We're getting to the end of this thing, boys. Here we go. Green flag. We're back racing from Myrtle Beach.
Big wad of cars back here. Looks like Stefan Martel is getting a little bit freight trained. He's contesting for position with Duke Sorensen right now for 15th. Looks like that'll filter out nicely. Ricky Bumbalo making a charge in the inside of the 57 car too.
Well, don't look now. The 31 is Sekenis holding really close to that back bumper of the 73 at Herman Reese.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make it to the back bumper of Reese, because we saw this last time by. He gets close.
He had to check up.
You saw him wobble there. It almost seemed like he threw it into the turn that time. The car didn't really agree with him. Looks like we got another caution on track, Joe. Looks like Richard Fenkel, Daniel Dupuy again, and Andre Rayom.
Replay. Oh. And it looks like another incident, just guy going around, going into turn 3. Lucier and the 59 of Sorensen do a great job of missing it. Boyer makes some contact there.
And my mistake, the 24 and the 2 did not get involved in that. They stopped. I just went to check who spun, and they were there.
I just went to check to see who was at the back, because usually that means that's the person that caused the caution.
Sometimes I gotta just shoot first, ask questions later. But, guess, staying out again? I
bet you they're good on fuel.
Yeah, the order's kind of a little gumbled right now, so we're
Wonky.
just waiting for the pace car to come by. I think pit road was closed that time by, so we'll see if anyone comes down. Right now, it's not looking like anyone's going to take it, Joe. So I guess aside from, the 41 and the, I think just the 41. I don't even know if the 34 pitted, to be honest. But aside from the 41, it looks like no one really came down pit road. They'll, that'll probably be that. Actually, you know what? The 34 is off track right now. Looks like connection issues.
Tough break there for the whole 34 Ford Mustang crew.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours sometimes, and looked like the caution came out there from his spin, and then actually it looks like he stopped on track, Joe. He might have just gotten off track.
Yeah, I think that's the case. You said it, not me.
Looking in chat, 37 is great on fuel, so I'm thinking that you're right. These guys probably are good on fuel. The question does arise, do you do tires?
Nah, we saw the tires don't mean much. I thought they'd mean more, but we saw there with Spadafore being able to stay out front on the 15-lap older tires. I mean, maybe we get a long green flag run, Ricky, but we haven't gotten those here in this latter part of the race. Even though it's just so hard to pass, especially with the single file restarts.
Yeah. But it looks like when we go green here again, keep an eye on that 31, because it seems like for whatever reason, Justin Kennis gets a really good charge early on a restart, regardless of what his tires are at. And my voice cracked again. I've been talking a lot today. Keep an eye on that 31, because it seems like he gets a really good run on these restarts. And he gets right there to the back bumper of Herman Reese, like time after time. And you got to wonder, as we get later into the race here, how aggressive does he get with that as we get the one to go? How aggressive does he get with that, trying to get to the inside of the 73? If he can get his nose in there, does he have a chance to pass the 73?
You got to think he'd have a chance, but that 73 is just so fast. I mean, Ricky, oof. I'm trying to figure out the words right now, but you're gonna have to really push it to get by that 73. And if you can get by him, we've seen that 91 Jeff Rogers able to kind of hang with those guys too. So maybe that moves the 73 back a couple positions, and then you're looking pretty for the end of this race. Come to green flag, lap number 90 of 120. So coming to 31 to go. Here we go, green flag. We're back racing from Myrtle Beach. Real quick there.
31 almost hung back a little bit there to see if he could get a better jump, but looks like Herman's still got a great restart there.
Yeah, pulling out to a bigger lead this time by as opposed to last. Farther on back, Rich Napick looking to the inside of the 14 of Hinsky.
Oh, we got the 78 of Ryan Johnson around. Turn 4, Joe, and another caution out.
Oh.
And Rod Weston gets into him, and now he's around on track.
Happens here.
Looks
Oh,
like,
Weston ran into the back of him.
Yeah, Weston just sent it in with just a little too much mustard. I think Johnson did not appreciate that, so he kind of ran back.
Yeah.
He kind of gunned it and gave him the equivalent of the old backhand.
You see it again. This is a tough night right now for some of these guys.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, cautions breed cautions. We're kind of doing good early on, but started to kind of hit a rhythm here where a lot of these guys are starting to spin out, and I think everyone's getting kind of antsy.
Got ants in my pants.
Now, 31 of Jessica Kendis actually did kind of fake out there going down pit road. I saw Fugate, I think, doing the same thing, so...
Well, those two have communications with each other.
Yeah.
They're trying to confuse everybody.
I think, yeah, a little bit of mind trickery.
Mind trickery. Not games.
A little bit of mind bending.
Trickery. Trickery, dickery, dock.
A little bit of mind twisting.
Warping. Again, thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit subscribe here on to JTN. We're on the road to 450 subscribers, 500 after that, and can't wait to see where we continue to grow. Make sure, if you haven't already, to head over to our Facebook page, give us a like over there, head over to our Twitter, give us a follow to stay up to date with all the dealings here at JTN. Check out the Fake Racers podcast weekly here, as well with myself and Davey Hazard, where we talk all things racing, as well as his exploits in the USORL Red Bull Cup Series. This past week, we did a ranking video of all the top NASCAR National Series drivers, and I had to throw a few in there to make sure we had some in the bottom category. But...
Oh, Joe, I hate to cut you off here. Andre Montion just blew up in the middle of the pack, pacing.
Oh, my
off track with engine
goodness.
failure. I saw 54 Starburst car slow on track, and I was like, what's going on here? I saw the black smoke.
I didn't know Starburst could blow up. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, he left his juice all over the track, his fruit juice.
Yeah, I'm glad you specified.
But my apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just saw the 54 go up in smoke.
That's a tough break. That is, you hate to see those random engine explosions, especially under caution. That's that one's gonna sting for a while.
Yeah, very unfortunate. The 54 was doing having a pretty decent night too. You know, been in that front shuffle. So it's very bizarre that it just blew out there. That is something that you do not see a lot, is a car lose a motor under caution.
It went tick, tick, boom! Boom! Boom goes the dynamite.
Now coming around this time, we should be getting the one to go. I would hope we're getting the one to go.
Come on.
I'm getting antsy.
They might have to clean up all that oil down the front straightaway.
Nah, let them run through it. Throw some Tide on it, we'll be good. Throw some of that lightweight fresh step on it.
Oh my goodness, Ricky.
with odor blockers.
That's cat litter, right?
Yeah.
I'm a dog person, if you couldn't tell.
Okay, you'll never know the struggle of having to lug a 20-pound box of cat litter.
But I do know the struggle of having to lug a 100-pound dog, so...
A 100-pound dog food bag, too.
Well, not that heavy, but 20... you know what? Here we go. Back running through 3 and 4. Herman Reese with control of another restart. Before we go crazy up here in the booth, boys, let's get a green flag run in. Here we go. Getting ready. Into the restart zone we go. There's the flag. Green is back out at Myrtle Beach. And Stekenis.
Yeah. A great jump there, and he's going to be right on Herman Reese's back bumper here coming off of turn 2.
Got that NVIDIA car running really strong. Reese, a little bit contact with the outside wall. Don't like to see that, but now starting to extend the lead back out over the 31 to Stekenis.
You know, keep an eye on that 91 of Jeff Rogers. He's been holding his ground very well in that third position. I don't know if he's got race winning speed right now. We'll have to kind of get some laps in here, but you know, he's been clicking away at these guys every single time we get back to green.
Stekenis way up the track. That's going to open the door for this 91 car here.
Yeah, now this 91 wants to start getting to that inside. Even if he doesn't have the spot on Stekenis, just start getting in his head so that if he can get him to kind of just overdrive it just a little bit.
Well, he's got to look out for that 9 car. Jeff Fugate behind him. It's the Jeff, and Jeff show. Go, Jeff, go.
In a world populated by Jeffs, one Herman rises above the rest. That's Herman Reese right now because he is... this is exactly what he wants to see. These guys are racing for position right now. He is just checking out.
Absolutely checking out right now. Never mind, there's caution.
Another caution on track. Now, who's
Ricky Bumbalo.
Ricky Bumbalo.
Bumbalo, oh no.
Oh, he is flipping.
Oh no.
Larry R in chat just asked how many dead so far. Well, that's our first one, I think.
I don't even think he's dead. These cars built so safe. Contact with the 37 of Spata4. Spata4 comes up the track a little bit. Little lazy roll.
Yeah, it looks like Spata4 threw it in there good, got to the inside, but then you can see the way the car kind of just shifts to the right. It looks like he hit that apron and the car got squirrely. Just barely grazed that apron, the car got squirrely and he had to correct it, and they just brought him to the side of the 85.
Yeah, on board with the 37 Sirius XM machine.
Unfortunate there for Ricky Bumbalo, but he'll continue here. We'll see if he still has any speed in that car, but I imagine they're going to have to do some pretty extensive repairs to get him race-worthy again.
Spatafora has retired.
Very unfortunate, too, because we saw Spatafora up there for a lot of the race, but...
Got a second caution, so I had to retire from the race.
Oh, my apologies.
Larry writes in, hello. He writes in, hi, Joe, and everyone. How's it going? Well, it's been going. It's been going. We've got a lot of cautions tonight. We've seen some great racing throughout the field, but, hey-ho, it's the Sunday night. It's NXS20. It's fixed setup, and Herman Reese is out front. So nothing much has changed. We went from a big track, a 2-mile oval, down to this short track in Myrtle Beach, and it looks like it's still the same result with the 73 out front.
It's Herman Reese's world. We're all just living in it.
His PR person now even just comes to me before the race. Hey, we'll interview after the race. How what you need from us?
Yeah, give you the question now so we can mull it over.
See if we actually want to do this interview. But it's been a good night of racing when we've had it. Cautions happen. But again, so happy and thankful y'all have tuned in tonight. Some great numbers here for a Sunday night with everything going on right now. Football just concluded. Buccaneers defeating the New Orleans Saints. Fellow Michigan, well, not Michigan student to me, but alumni. I'm not an alumnus. I'm not part of the alumni yet, but alumnus. Ricky, I don't know how words work. I'm an engineer. Gosh, golly darn it. But
you're not supposed to be good with words.
I draw schematics. That's what I do. Anyways, Michigan grad Tom Brady just beat Purdue grad Drew Brees, so a little Big Ten battle down in New Orleans. But not a big Tom Brady guy, but I'll root for the boys that wore the maize and blue when I can, and I did. Plus, the Detroit Lions about to sign the tight ends coach from the New Orleans Saints, so that should probably become official in the next couple days. So that's a good thing for us up here in the 313.
Looks like we've come across the line here to 15 laps to go, Joe.
Woo! Here we go.
Oh. Like I said, it feels like it went by a lot quicker just because how quickly these laps rattle down. Only been at this for maybe an hour. So, maybe not even an hour. I don't even remember when we hit green flag. It had to have been like 9 o'clock.
Yep, hour of racing, so a quick little tidy race here. But, you know, it's been that phrase, cautions breed cautions. Pace car lights are out, so Herman Reese, Stekenis, Jeff Rogers, Jeff Fugate, and Hinsky, your top 5 for this restart once again. We'll see how this 73 does. I want to see if Stekenis can stay close, and he can't make a mistake like he did under the last little run there, Ricky. As we go into the restart zone, here we go. Green flag, we're back racing from Myrtle Beach.
We'll see when they're coming off the turn, because that's usually when Herman Reese gets a big jump. And Stekenis holds pretty well with him.
Stekenis really good down there into 3, but Herman Reese just does a great job off of 4 getting a run down this front straightaway.
Yeah, it's so hard to get the run that he needs to get up to that 73, but he's doing everything in his power they should be right now. Got a little bit of a battle at the back here, the 87 and the 94 going at it. Side by side going through the turn. Looks like the 94 is going to take that position. The 87 still stuck on the outside of Duke Sorensen as well.
Sorensen now making the pass as well off of turn 2. That's going to hand those duties over the 16 of Martell.
Steve Rubino just got very close to Tom Musa there. I'm really surprised he didn't spin. Got right on his quarter panel. Back up front right now, it really does look like that Jeff Rogers is really tracking down that 31. Like, he is there. It's just a matter of if Stekenis slips up at all, that Mustang's going to strike, and he's going to look to the inside here going to the turn 1, Joe.
Yeah, that's our
team. In deep.
He sent it down there to try to get up into that second position. Jeff Rogers takes it over as we're on our TWB 10 to go. Head over to GardenLightsDirect.com to find some of the from porches to patios and more. Head over to GardenLightsDirect.com. Presented by TWB. That's our TWB 10 to go here. Really quick one at Myrtle Beach.
Jeff Rogers rattling off that like it's about a tenth or 2 faster than Herman Reese here, Joe. He's getting right on his back bumper coming in turn 3.
Oh, he's moving right now, Ricky, in that bright green Ford Mustang.
This is what we get for not having all the cars.
This is what we get. We're going to get our comeuppance.
Pay that. We're going to get this guy in the booth. We're going to be like, hey, good job. We couldn't see your car.
Those the sponsors, but Jeff Rogers trying to get to the back bumper of the 73. Herman Reese sent it in.
They kicked out a little bit. You saw how much time that gave the 91. 91 almost got into the back of Herman. Now, this is going to be another question. Does Jeff Rogers use the bumper at all? It is very tricky to do a bump and run here.
Well, if he hits him, it's going to spit him out. Rogers going to send it again down into the turn 3. Not as close that time. Coming to 6 laps to go.
I think he knows better right now. I think he knows if he throws it in too hard, he's going to come together with Herman, and they're both going to spin. So
he's going to be close this time. Here he goes. Looks to the inside.
Keep an eye out. That 73 is going to have to move up a little bit to hold his line. And, oh, he's going to get close to that wall, but he's not going to hit it.
5 laps to go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Here we go.
Here it is. Here he goes.
Now
right
he's there. Oh, really loose off the corner. Down into turn 3. They're side by side.
He's throwing it in. Let's see if it sticks coming off the turn here, Joe.
It's really loose, but he's still there.
Caution.
No.
Oh, my goodness, Joe. That might have been for the race right there.
That's it. That's the race. No.
Oh, just absolutely destroyed on the backstretch
no.
here.
No. Let's see what happens. Oh, no. No,
Stefan
no, no.
Martel hit
This-
the wall, and Steve Rubino just hooked him.
This one was happening all the way down the back straightaway.
Yeah.
Oh, my. And it's our second flip of the night. Flip count here from Myrtle Beach at 2. I don't think that's normal. Didn't think we needed a flip count like the Chili Bowl, but apparently we did.
Joe, that mad dash to the line, though, that was the race right there, and that was pretty... Man.
That's frustrating.
For a guy that... Jeff Rogers, just a little short of a car length there on Herman Reese. He was on the inside of that 73 there. That would have been a good charge. You saw that was a good charge into turn 1, but then they both had to let off because the caution was out. That will be the race there. Herman Reese will win this race with Jeff Rogers coming up at the bridesmaid spot there. But I mean, what a great run for that 91 car for being a new entry.
I'm sad. We just got robbed of a great finish.
Well, yeah, that's the way that it is sometimes with racing. Sometimes you got to take those kind of finishes, but man, that was a great dash because they were taking the caution. I think no matter what, I think they were racing to the caution no matter what. So that was very much the finish for the race there, them side by side. But as a driver, if that doesn't make you hungry, nothing does. To be that close to getting the win, and then, oh hey, caution.
Hey-oh. Go to the white flag this time by Ricky, but what a race there at the end between the 91 and 73. A lot of cautions throughout, and the one guy that was able to work his way towards the front was Jeff Rogers in that bright green 91 car.
Yeah, he just clicked his way up there the entire race. You know, gotta go back and check where he even started. I don't even remember. 10th position, so started on pretty decent in the top 10 tonight. You know, he wasn't there early on. He just sort of very slowly creep way in, and then by the second half of the race, he was up there in that top 3 shuffle.
Well, that's compared to everyone else that around him who did start at the front, though, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with all the pit strategy and everything that was going on, all the kind of weirdness, you know, he was consistently up there. So that definitely says something about how fast he had that car rolling by the end of this race. But at the end of the day, it looks like today's going to be Herman Reese's day.
Coming to the line one final time. Herman Reese takes the checkered flags at Myrtle Beach.
Gotta give him a little congratulations.
What a thriller of a finish, though. I want a little bit more, Ricky. I just want a little bit more.
There's always next week. There's always next week.
There's always next race. There's just
fantastic run by those guys for the end of the race.
Real quick, there's your programming reminder from us here at JTN of all the upcoming races. Also, head over to our Twitter and Facebook pages to find out more. Again, brought to you by TWB Technologies. Together, we are better. Like Herman Reese is just going to take it behind the wall here, so we'll get you the finishing results in just a second, and we'll interview our top 3 drivers. They are all set and done debriefing. I would say, Ricky, that it's just short track racing, but end of that race, that was more than short track racing. That was fantastic racing.
Yeah, that was just fantastic. You know, we saw it. Everyone was having when we saw green flag racing there. That was just great, and I'm really glad that we saw that close of a finish, even if it did end under caution. I think definitely helped everyone get their money's worth tonight.
I think part of that too is I wanted to talk about it more last night with the way that the track that they ran at Chicagoland was set up, but this track, it's the same thing. When a track is tough on the drivers, it puts everybody into a box. When they're put into a box, well, makes it so they have to maybe run a little bit harder, maybe figure things out at a little bit of a faster rate, but I just think anytime a track's tough to drive, it really promotes good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you there. Every time we get to one of these tougher to drive tracks, it's almost like there's like a wind up to it though. Everyone stays single file. Everyone kind of gets their bearings, and then all of a sudden by the end of the race, everyone's in a full on slugfest like we saw there.
Sure, for sure. It looks like our third place finisher is all ready, so we'll bring him up into the booth. Driver of the number 31 NVIDIA Dodge Charger, Jeff Stekenis. Jeff, great race tonight for you and the 31 team. I know you probably wanted to get 2 positions better. What more did you need out of the car tonight?
More tire.
More tire?
Yeah.
Was it tonight? Was it a lot of tire wear? Was it maybe not being optimal for a flatter track? What was it?
Yeah. Tire wear was killing me.
Okay.
So, I mean, it didn't matter. Every time I go into the pits, I was taking 4, and there was no wavering from that. But pretty good race.
A pretty good race indeed. You started back in the 4th position, able to get up into 3rd. Good night for the 31 crew. You guys were the second car there most of the race, trying to hunt down that 73 car. We've seen Herman be really dominant in the races we've at least broadcast so far this season. What more would you need, whether it be behind the wheel, maybe strategy? What would have been the way to try to get around that 73 car tonight?
2 tires in the pits.
Okay.
But that would have been treacherous here. I mean, I'd have had to have a caution right away. But yeah, that'd have been about the only way. There were times that I could catch him, but he's pretty dominant.
Well, you see results now populating your screen at home. But Jeff, a great run for you and the whole 31 team. Love to see a Dodge up there in the top 3. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out or thank?
Oh, all these guys at HOBO Racing putting on a good race. Thank all these guys. A great group of guys to run with. Steve and Bino. All the admins that admin week after week. Great group of guys.
I would just like to echo that too. Y'all always put on some great races, and I know to put on great races, it takes a great group of guys running the league. Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. Congratulations again on the podium finish. Good luck next week.
You're welcome. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, no problem. That was Jeff Stekenis, driver number 31 NVIDIA Dodge Charger. And Ricky, tires. I wonder if our second place finisher, as we bring him up here into the booth, he's going to have the same thing to say.
Oh, to see.
See, Jeff Rogers, driver number 91, now joining us. From the comments of one Jeff to now you, Jeff, was the big difference tonight the tires?
Oh, absolutely. If you didn't take care of the tires, you were going to be having bad push. And I think I only pitted maybe twice or maybe 3 times. I think twice for tires, because I was managing my tires real well. I was just riding behind guys and not trying to push it. And at the end of the race, I knew I had a better car than the fellow who won, but I just couldn't get underneath him, couldn't keep the momentum up in the turns. Do
you think you would have had something if that caution didn't come out?
It's hard to say. I don't know if I would be able to pass him without wrecking him, because he was trying to hold the bottom real good, and I didn't want to push up into him. And these guys run for points. I think this is only like my 3rd race here this season, so I didn't really want to take that chance unless I was sure I could pass him cleanly.
For sure. And we also, Jeff, we saw you were one of the guys that was able to make passes. You rose all the way from 10th position. I know that's always tough in a race that has a lot of cautions. But a lot of the passes you made, they were under green. What went into being so good tonight at passing race cars on track?
Keeping the momentum up around the racetrack, keeping the momentum up in the turns, and I really wasn't hitting the brake that much, to be honest with you. I was just like stabbing it for a second or two, just to turn the car, and then jumping right back in the throttle. And keeping that momentum up was keeping me passing cars on the inside all night long.
For sure. And Jeff, again, congratulations. 2nd place finish tonight here at Myrtle Beach. It's got to feel good, especially running on a part-time basis. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out or thank?
I'd like to thank Steve Rubino for keeping the league going and keeping me in the league, even though I don't run that much because I didn't have a car tonight, as you guys probably saw. I was a 93 computer car, and I was a 91 on the scoreboard, so it was a little confusing. I like to give a shout out to my dad, my mom, and my brother Corey, and I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting.
Thanks, Jeff. And again, we'll always echo the sentiment of shouting out the Rubinos because they do a great job here. Again, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. Good luck next time you're out here on track.
Thank you.
Jeff Rogers driving the number 91 car tonight after a third place finish. A stellar finish for him, Ricky, but we'll now move on. He's the only guy left at the racetrack. Everyone else thought he stunk up the show, so they got out of here as quick as they could. Herman Reese, driver number 73. Welcome once again to the booth, Herman.
What's happening, guys? Oof.
Well, I think you had to sweat it out a little more this week. Take us through those last couple of green flag laps.
Well, Jeff was starting to put the pressure on because the other Jeff Rogers, was putting the pressure on him, and I had just been pacing most of the race and nobody really messing with me, and it got a little intense. And then on the last restart, I made several mistakes and one hitting the fence. And, you know, last time we ran Myrtle Beach with these cars, Jeff Rogers absolutely dominated, and I knew he was fast and he was going to be fast. He's just getting such a good run there. And I was trying to give him racing room, but not. And I was hoping that, you know, because there was one point I felt like I probably pinched him off. If he'd hit me, it would have been definitely my fault. But I was struggling at that point to, you know, keep the tires on it and try and finish. And if that caution doesn't come out, he wins the race, in my opinion. He had pure position and momentum, and I was going to have to concede the position and take what I could get, which was going to suck after running up front all night.
Yeah, for sure. Led 104 laps out of 120, all but 16. And I think Spatafora led a lot of was second most at 13. And a lot of those came under caution. So dominated this race under green flag for sure, Herman. But the other two guys, the Jeff and Jeff that came up here, they talked about tires, and I'm assuming you're going to echo that sentiment because we've always seen you be able to save the tires very well, and if that was the case again tonight, makes sense why we're talking to you here in Victory Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. This, you know, if you noticed in the beginning, the top 7 drivers were all modified drivers. This is a track that we run on the regular, and the setup was very familiar. And knowing, and it, you know, you always have green flag runs here, and you saw it in the beginning of the race. You have to save tires. At one point, I said to Jeff Stegeneggs, I said, "I'm running too fast. We got to slow down because there would be no tires at the end." And unfortunately, the cautions kept flying, so you could just go throw 4 more on and have at it. I was honestly surprised more guys, because it's so hard to pass here, didn't try and 2-tire or take track position there. So yeah, tires are everything here. At one point, we had plenty of fuel to make it, but not enough tires. Ricky typing away there. He's
getting his notes, man. He's taking for the local paper, you know, here in Myrtle Beach. We're getting, you know, more and more jobs for us. But Herman, again, another fantastic run. I know the folks at home, they're probably really familiar with all the people you thank, but why don't you do it one more time for us?
Yeah, I want to thank, of course, Steve and Dan Rubino and the guys. Thanks to Jeff Rogers for not, even though he's the better car tonight, they're not getting me. And we're going to be making a change here and going to possibly a new manufacturer. And I want to say thank you to the Thomas Super Wheel guys. They don't pay me to advertise for them, and I do a great job. This wheel I bought in 1997 is still sitting here at my desk, and I wish that they had a product that I could go to for the future. But we're going to probably move on to the direct drive wheel and pedal setup probably in the next month or so. And I've won so many races and championships and just had so much fun, and just absolutely an indestructible wheel. And I want to say to the Thomas Super Wheel guys, Dave Jr. and Dave Sr., thank you very much.
What year's that wheel from?
1997.
Oh God, that wheel's older than me, but now you're making me feel too young. I feel like a little baby up here.
Yeah, it was another racer that was a teammate of mine, Donnie Leah, former modified champion in real life, begged me to get it. He said, "You won't regret it," and I haven't looked back ever since. I have one of Dale Jr.'s spare ones here for sale if anybody wants it. But yeah, I have wheels here people have given me, and this thing has just been rock solid. And I hate making the change, but I think the future's coming. These guys are getting faster, and I got to stay on top of it.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The guy that's the quickest, he's making changes to get even quicker. Thanks so much, Herman, for talking to us. Go celebrate this
you guys
victory.
Have a great night.
Yeah, see ya.
Night.
Ricky, what a fantastic race here at Myrtle Beach. We saw a lot of cautions, but what a great green flag racing was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And I'm gonna catch you on this, Joe. I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna bamboozle you here. You ask me every week.
Oh no!
I'm gonna ask you.
I'm bamboozled.
How would you describe tonight in one word?
One word? I only get one.
Oh,
I give you three.
You only ever give me one word.
No, I give you three. Sometimes I give you three, but if no,
sometimes. Oh,
no,
sometimes.
No, you gave me one.
No.
I'm the best. No. I'm the best. I'm the freaking best.
All right, come on.
One word. Race cars, and thank you everybody for. I couldn't think of one. I could say fantastic, but I think we said that enough. Amazing. We say it all the time. It was just solid. It was a solid night of racing here. A lot of cautions. Cautions breed cautions, and it was like rabbits out there tonight. So, you live and learn. It's a short track. It can be tough on these guys, but I think we had a great race when we had the green flag action, and it gave us a lot of time to talk with the fans, and I think that's always good too. And if you're still sticking around watching, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight here on JTN. Ricky, I'm gonna let you. You got anything else to say to these fans at home?
Race car.
Yeah, that's right. Race cars. And remember, if you want to see more race cars, tune in tomorrow night. Indy Cars from Gateway with the ASRA, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a special night for us here at JTN. We're really excited and looking forward to it. For all of us here at JTN, for Ricky Collette up here in the booth, for Bristol, our producer back in the truck, and cameraman, camera dog, I've been JoeTowNetwork. Have a wonderful rest of your night and a wonderful start to your week. So long for now. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for the ASRA from Gateway. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys.